You are now listening to Nexxlegacy Radio, a radio station for the people.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the guests that we have tonight. So we're gonna definitely try to make this about authentic music and good songwriting and turned up memories and everything that kind of comes along with what I feel like music should stand for. And the guest that I have to kick it off is definitely one of them. I mean, you heard this track right here, which I think is a hot one. But also this guy has written songs for Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, One Direction, Sean Kingston, Music Soul Child, JLS, Cheryl Cole, and so on and so on. And this man is brought to you by AugustRigoMusic.com, who's here to talk about his music and his evolution as an artist. And I would like to welcome Mr. Rigo to the show. Welcome to Brighter After Dark, sir.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate
How's it
it.
going, man?
It's good, man. I'm just, it's actually my birthday weekend, so it's been a kind of heavy weekend the last 2 days.
I hope in a good way. So let me start off by saying happy belated birthday. So definitely, because I know it was yesterday.
That. Yep.
So before we get into the Q&As and stuff like that, man, what'd you do? What'd you do to get turned up on your day yesterday?
Well, it was like kind of a 2-day thing. So on Friday, we just I don't know what happened.
Right.
Man. We just went to a bar and had some chicken wings, and then just got trashed, man. And then yesterday we went to this. Yeah, pretty much. Then we woke up and we were all good, so decided to go out the next night. We went to this club called Candyland, which is it was like R&B hip hop night, but halfway through they stopped the music and they do like a burlesque show. So,
okay.
Yeah, so that's it, and then we got drunk, and that was it. So
I mean, that sound like it was a good look, though. I mean,
yeah, it was good.
I
haven't done that. I haven't done that in a while, so it was fun. It was a good time.
Just to get out, enjoy just your date of birth with your peoples, and just just enjoy the music, drink a little bit, eat a little bit, have fun. That's it.
Yeah. That's it, man.
The simple life.
Simple
life. Look, let me start off by again shouting you out. Like I said, your resume as far as the things that you have accomplished thus far in your career is pretty tremendous. Being, that you're still a young guy in my opinion, and of course, fresh out of Toronto, Canada, but actually you have transcended globally as far as being one of those sought after writers and things like that too. So because we just played Just Drive, and I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about that, because to me it's just as far as you being a writer, I think you saved a lot of good stuff for yourself too. But we're gonna talk about your career. But let me ask you a question about the writing that you actually do for folks. I mean, you've been doing it for a while now, and you have a good list of folks. When you first started doing writing, what was really your purpose as far as how you wanted to get that gift that you have out there to the public?
Well, my whole thing was I didn't understand, when I got into the game, I didn't understand there was even a concept of a songwriter that wrote songs for artists. I was so green to that whole idea that when I came in, I was just like, here's my songs as an artist. And be what it was, whether it be they always loved the songs, but they didn't know what to do with me because I was Asian. There was a lot of that going on, but they were like, I really like your songs. Could we pitch your songs? So that's kind of how I kind of fell into the songwriting thing as a byproduct of me, writing songs for myself.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
did they threw out there the fact that you was Asian? Are you serious, man? When you first broke out, they just kind of.
No, I mean, some I met with a lot of people, and some people were a little less obvious about it, and then some people were super down with it, and then some people were just opposed to the idea, just couldn't wrap their head around it. So, I mean, it is what it is, man.
So no doubt. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Hey, and I always see it, Mr. Rigo, is this I feel like music has no color line anyways. You're going to groove to what you're going to groove with. You're going to vibe with what you're going to vibe with. It is one of those kind of things where it's just man, I don't even look at color. I just look at if it's going to make me feel a certain way. And, especially because you gotta think about it, man. You've written for a lot of people. So starting off, like I said, when you have like Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, One Direction, Music Soul Child in mind, when you think about songs, was that more geared for your own self experience, and then you just brought it to them and be like, hey, check this out, maybe you can rock
Yeah, so all the songs a good bulk of the placements that I've gotten were, a lot of songs that I've written that from a personal standpoint, I think they connected with people because I think they got chosen because, in the writing process, I was in whatever I was talking about, I was in it. I was going through it. It was really early on in my career when I got, and I got a little bit of shine from writing the Justin Bieber stuff. So a lot of the stuff even coming after was, because of experience, and it was supposed to be for myself, but it would have had better legs with with somebody else. So
right.
That's how it goes. But I owe a lot of my life to that stuff. Because I wouldn't have been able to just do the things that I do now if I didn't take the chance and give away those songs. I didn't really think of it as giving away as writing songs for other people. Right?
Because aren't they pieces of yourself? I mean, you said it yourself. You may be feeling a certain way about a certain experience that you went through, so you writing it, putting it out there, and Chris Brown takes it, and it's just like that's just like it's not giving away your child, but damn near, right? Like you know what I'm saying? It's just like a little bit, but at the same time, it's just like you're appreciating the art through another person's vision, which I still think is pretty genuine too.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those things where you got to pick your battles, right? You're gonna write as a songwriter. I find we write a lot of songs, and some songs will never ever see the light of day. So when you have an opportunity to have a Chris Brown, sing a song that you wrote that maybe is it's a piece of you, but if you're trying to get your music out there, if that's the end game, you want people to know your sound and you want to influence the culture, then you have. It's not smart to not give it to Chris Brown because you're selfish. I think that's the wrong way to think about it, right? So that's why I don't really think it works better for the music if somebody with a name will sing that song, and then you can pick your battles. Some songs just I don't want to give those ones away. I like those.
August, you've been like, nah, this is mine. I'm just gonna take this one and own this one and rock this one myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just kind of feel like, this is just something that I need to take. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, Just Drive. Like I said, I started the show with that just for the simple fact, I could tell it was heartfelt. It was driven. You could tell you was a man that had that. And to me, I feel like that's not just what's missing in writing songs, because you can kind of feel that passion, but also performing it and putting it down, and the production part of it. It just seemed like that particular song and others that you have put together just seemed like that was a long night at the studio, just really kind of being into your feelings and your emotions with that whole deal, right?
Yeah, it definitely is, man. And I've got one of my homies, my best friend is my guitar guy, so he's like a guitar god. So we kind of just sit around and vibe, and sometimes we're not in the same room. Sometimes he's home and I'm at home. And I think for Just Drive was like that. I was at home and he was at home, and I would just send him the files, and he'd be in his studio and he would just send stuff back to me. So yeah, it worked out pretty good.
So you called him up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, hey, guitar guy, I got this right here. Let's go. Let's work.
Yo, Ricky, Ricky, you up? And we're like, yeah, man. All right, cool. He's usually getting a gig or something like that. He's actually Lady Gaga's guitar player. Excuse me. But, we grew up together, so we've always written together. So now we kind of just he helped me a lot with that album sonically.
So when you have and August Rigo is my guest on Branded After Dark, and when you actually not just have these particular songs that you put out and you feel great when it's done, do you feel like it's a responsibility to what you put down to just make sure that you are really paying attention to some of the stuff that's put together? Because I know sometimes you might have a song and they may tweak it a little bit. And, do you have certain situations like a tug-of-war moment with certain things because, you know what, they changed that riff a little bit or they changed that part where you know it would come?
Like, to be totally honest, I'm pretty loose with that. I'm pretty loose with it to a certain extent. And then there's pinpoint spots in the songs where I'm like, it just needs to have this. Like, because I'm not going to say that not every piece of the song is not important, but there are parts of the song that are more important. So, again, it's like a pick your battles type of thing. You can be really anal and be like, it has to be exactly this way or no. Or you can kind of look at it as okay, that's their vibe on it. And it's not like, realistically, no one's going to hear the demo. So demo-itis is a real thing. So if you can get over that and you listen to it and you're like, you know what, this is still good. Just as long as the soul of the song is intact and the integrity of the song, I don't mind variations and stuff because that also gives the song the identity that it needs to be connected to the other artist.
What are some of the challenges and some of the successes as well that you face as a songwriter? Because I know it's a lot different as an artist, and I know we're going to get into your artistry career in just a second. But what are some of the challenges that you see and that you face with songwriting, and what are some of the things that you picked up on that you were like, hey, you know what, this is why I was born to do this? Yeah,
I mean, I find that songwriting is, it's a really crazy thing because you can get into slumps, and I usually write by myself. Like I find I'm best on my own, and I didn't collaborate with people for a long time because I think it was a little bit of selfishness and also a little bit of insecurity. Like, because when you have two ideas starting in the room, then three ideas, it's hard to really see your vision through. So I think that was a big challenge for me, like learning how to co-write with people and get that going. But I enjoy it now, and I think it's a really dope way to get the best of both worlds. That's for sure.
Got you.
Yeah. And
do you feel that honestly, you feel like some of the successes that you've had, I mean, like I said, I mean, anybody that is either on the rise or up and coming or somebody that is, struggling trying to be able to find good pieces of writing talent as far as, sometimes they have we all have writer's block. I'm a writer myself. Sometimes we have it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you just got to really just kind of dig down. But, I mean, what are some of the best things that you've actually came to be able to check out and or experience as a songwriter thus far? One of my favorite memories, I actually got to work with Timbaland one night. Okay. Which was a crazy experience, and he was super nice to me, but this is a crazy story. So he was like, "Yo, play me some songs." So I played him one song, and he was like, "Oh, that's a great song." I played him another song. He's like, "Oh, that's another dope song." He goes, "Yo, play me a hit." And here's the caveat when we start talking about play hits. So or write hits, but we'll get back to that. So I say, okay, cool. This is a hit, Timbaland. And he goes, all right. And I'm already tripping balls at this point because it's Timbaland. It's not like no regular producer. It's legendary. Right. So I'm sitting there playing him my songs. So I play him a song, right? And when I say Timbaland kills me, like he killed me, and not in a bad way. So I played him the song, and he kind of nodded, and he was like, that sounds like a number one hit. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And he was like, but you don't want to sing that song. And I was like, really? What do you mean? I was like, what do you mean? I was like, you just said it's his song. Like, why wouldn't I want to sing that song? And so I was back to, let me connect back to my old comment about being Asian. I started trying to make more pop-ish records. So this particular song was very, very pop leaning. I was singing differently. It was just it was kind of a departure from my typical thing, but it didn't sound bad. But what he told me was, he was like, yeah, it's a hit song. He was like, but you played me three songs before that were super soulful and that had a different feel. And he was like, I feel like you're more comfortable there.
and this is not a song. He was like, you want to sing this song? If you become famous, you want to sing this song every day, day and night? And I was like, no, not really. And he was like, hey, there you go. So that was that was a crazy lesson though, bro, because like he didn't know me from Adam, and he kind of picked me apart real quickly. So really cool.
Hey,
really
and
cool,
you know what? And especially
yeah.
like you said, the fact that it's coming from someone like Timbaland, and the fact that it's just kind of like he's kind of putting it out there as far as the experience of it. Like, you know, is this really, is that walk you really want to walk down? Is that something you want to do forever and ever and ever, back and forth and not stop? Like, you know, and sometimes you really got to dig deep and be like, well, no, at the end of the day, or yes, I'm all in, right?
Yeah, so that was a pretty cool experience. I mean, you know, that's one of the highlights of, you know, being a songwriter and being able to collaborate with people.
That's what's happening. August Rigo is my guest on Branded After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy. And all right, tell me this, because you know we kind of started there with songwriting, and to me, I think your resume is tremendous. I think, you know, as far as the stuff that you've done for all these people is definitely legendary times 10, right? So I mean, but your passion is singing. Your passion is composing and doing your thing. So I'm like, and I'm listening to your songs, and you got Easy to Let Go, which is available on iTunes. People can go pick that up. All you got to do is Google and type in August Rigo, and it's right there. But look, man, like you're dope as a songwriter, but I mean, damn, man, your passion is literally your passion. You can kind of tell with the songs you put down. So, I mean, was this something that was always in you as a child, or is this something that you kind of developed it into as you went on in your life?
You know what? To be totally honest, I think like all of this kind of runs back to karaoke. To be totally honest, because none of my parents are, you know, extremely great musicians. You know, they're not the best singers in the world, but they're Filipino and they like karaoke. So that was part of my daily life, or, you know, weekend life, to go to a family party and sing karaoke. So that's kind of how I started singing. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of stuck with me from when I was a real small kid. Yeah, and then I went to school for like performing arts. I went to school for opera and sacred music. So I did like choir music for like a good few years, and then I went to school for jazz after that, which I didn't quite enjoy. I didn't really enjoy, but you know, I learned some stuff. And then after that, I went to school for sound engineering, which is what I finished up with, and that like to do like production and engineering, because, you know, I wanted to do my own thing. So yeah, I always wanted to be the artist. I always wanted to be the voice behind the songs. Right? I didn't even care if I wrote the songs, to be honest. I just wanted to be the voice behind the songs. And then it just so, you know, and then, but, you know, as a byproduct of wanting to sing, you know, original material, you just write your own stuff, you know. And I just kind of felt that, you know, I felt like I had a knack for it. When I listen back to my old stuff, I'm like, this is so whack. But
I think as an artist, you kind of always do, right? Like, you go back to your old stuff and be like, "Whew, if I knew what I knew now, it would be just as good," right?
Right, exactly. But that's
but
part
at the same time,
growth,
like
right?
sometimes you need that opportunity to be able to grow, right? That's an opportunity you can have and be like, you know what, hey, I could definitely outdo what I did 5 years ago, and be okay with that.
Right.
No, so with this, do you have you have your single out? So what's on deck with you as far as an artist? So what's in store? Albums, tours?
Well, so
I know you're going to talk to me a little bit about what you got going on next month, though. But you know, tell me a little bit about what's in store, what you got going on.
Right now, the album I think came out a month and a half ago or 2 months ago on iTunes worldwide. So I kind of did it I did like an exclusive deal with Japan. So I released it in Japan. I did physicals out there with a label called Manhattan Records, and then I did Canada, and the album got nominated for a Juno Award here in Canada for Best R&B Soul Recording, which was super dope.
Congrats.
And then thank you. And then we did after that we just, you know, decided to release it to the rest of the world and just kind of let it grow on its own as I do more shows and as I write more songs, and I'm just gonna continue to promote the album. And then I've got a couple of side projects. I've got a band called the Egos that I'm working on, and then I have my first artist whose name is Jeanette Claudette, which I'm also working on finishing up the album. So we're doing that. I'm doing that as well.
So you're a songwriter, you're a singer, you sounds like you're heavy into production because you're working on another project as well. I mean, what is it that you don't do? Like, I mean, do you what else do you do, Mr. August Rio? Like, I mean, are you running for mayor, president? Like, what are you doing, man? What else are you doing?
Yeah, man. No, just like, if you wanted something done right, like if you're like, I'm pretty particular with stuff, so if I need I've always been the guy like, okay, if I want something done, I just do it myself. So along the way, I just learned a lot of like, tips and tricks, to like shorthand stuff. So I'm like, I can do everything pretty much, and some things I can do extremely well, and some things I just, I have a handle on enough that I can, I can function. So
that's what's up. That's definitely what's up.
That's the world we live in, man. Like you gotta do it on your own.
You gotta have 50 jobs, right?
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do.
Exactly. Yeah.
August Rigo is my guest on Branded After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy. And have you, in your career so far, been presented a challenge, meaning a songwriting challenge that, you know what, I could take this group or I can take this particular artist and do a damn good job writing a hit record for it?
I don't. All the songs that I've placed, I don't know, they've always felt like, these ones are good. There's always a feeling behind the good ones, right? But I've never really had much success like aiming for something. Like, ooh, Rihanna's looking for records. I'm gonna go into the studio and write a Rihanna record. Bam,
gotcha.
This is perfect for her. I'm not good at that. Like I don't have a great success rate of that. It doesn't happen like that for me. But what's best for my process is to go into the studio and write something that moves me. So if it moves me and I'm excited about it, then it can find a home after that. Then we can kind of, play that game of, imagine if Rihanna sang this song. And then that's how usually I pitch the songs, as opposed to the other way around. Like, ooh, I need to make something of Rihanna. Like, I'll just make something. Or I'll just take someone, like, take a beat from, a producer, write the song that I think could be best on that, and so that you have, you start with a great song, and like that. So I just start with trying to write something really good, and then figuring out a home for it after.
Gotcha.
Because when it's hard to get into another artist's brain and figure that out, But if you make something dope and the artist can relate to it, then that's even better, right?
I agree. I'm glad you put it out that way though, August. Just for the simple fact that you don't have a design on just I'm gonna make this for this person. Like you're gonna make it to sound a certain way, and then if someone takes it and puts it on that level that you have, or take it up a higher level, because everybody has an opportunity to become that. Exactly. That will make it not just amazing, but it will make it legendary, and it will make it authentic because it was something that you, again, like you're giving birth to, like, so many different types of, ways that people are doing music. It's just, hey, August, you got like a whole bunch of kids running around right about now, man. I'm just letting you know, like, you got a whole bunch of kids right now.
That's what's up. You gotta spread the music, man. You gotta spread the music.
Exactly. Tell me a little bit about the T-Dot Fest that's going down September 4th, man.
So doing T-Dot Fest 2016. I'm fucking stoked for it, man. Sorry, but I'm really excited. I'm actually putting together the band now. I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve, like a couple of new pieces of gear that I'm practicing on, that I want to try out during my live set, which is good. It's for me, it's always a good time to perform. When I'm performing live, I actually get the chance to see people's reactions to songs, like, and that's kind of it's really scary too, right? Like you think something's so hot, and then you look out in the crowd and nobody gets it. You're like, damn, it sucks. But but most times it works, you know. And when it works, but when it works,
or
it's wicked,
or on
it's
the flip side, where everybody's vibing to your song, and you know, and it's even better if somebody's even singing your words with you. So that's always good.
That's what I mean.
You know,
but I always
like you're on stage and you're looking at other people like on their cell phones, they're doing something, like you're like, damn man, come on, like, you know, I gotta step up my game a little more.
It's tough, right?
Like, what's up?
But you know, it's an opportunity like to let people see. I find on record, the records sound, I think the records sound good, and you know, they're great songs in my opinion. But actually, the physical act of coming to see me perform these songs, I feel like my conversion rate gets better. You know, like it doesn't matter who's watching. Like I know, you know, they're love songs, so a lot of it is aimed towards women. You know, and a lot of guys, I find that on my shows, you know, there's a good conversion rate after the performance because they see, you know, there's something real behind, you know, the records and not just,
no doubt,
you know, just frivolous songs. And this T-Dot Fest can be dope because it's at Dundas Square, which is a super, you know, it's like our version of Times Square. It's not as grand, but it's, you know, it's really nice. It's got a dope stage, and you know, I think it's going to be a really great event.
Well, one thing I could say, because I'm down here in the States, man, and just watching, and big shout out to Sasha Stoltz as well. She's always been amazing as long as I've known her, since like forever, like years and years. But you know, one thing I could say about you guys up there in Canada, you guys can put a show together, and it is epic, man. Like some of the stuff that I've seen, not just on YouTube, but the promotion that comes with it, like all that stuff comes together. Like, hey man, I'm a little jealous because we don't move like that in the States like we should. But I watch you guys, and I watch how you guys get down, and I am so damn impressed, man. It is good to see. It's good to see that music still moves like that, because you can get a crowd like that, not just at the T-Dot Fest that's going down September 4th, but also in other venues that you guys have done. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's definitely very cool.
And I'm actually looking forward to it one day, man, coming down there and just experiencing that, because I know you guys actually do it well. So I'm definitely looking forward to that day. Definitely.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good times out here, man. Good music, you know, especially if you like that. If you like live music too, there's a lot of great live music in the city.
That's what's up. August Rigo's our guest on Branded After Dark, brought to you by Nexxlegacy. You can check out his website, which is augustrigomusic.com. Follow him on any social media connect. All you got to do is type in August Rigo. And before I let you go, with the music that you got that's out right now, and people should definitely go pick it up, iTunes, Google search August Rigo and just hit it and get it and do what you got to do. What else store in addition to the T-Dot and all that other stuff? What's next on deck for you in addition to some of the things that you said?
You know, continual promotion of my album, Fallout. Again, working on my artist Jeanette Claudette's stuff. Her album should be out, or her first single should be out very soon. We've been working on some really great stuff with her. And then I've been writing a lot, so I've been called to do a lot of sessions. So I can't say right now because I don't know for sure. But there's a couple of songs that I have, you know, tentatively placed that are, you know, that you may hear in the near future. But I'm not sure if I should say yet. But some really dope stuff happening on the writing side.
All right. Well, do me a favor and break that news live on Nexxlegacy when you can.
Absolutely,
you know
man. Absolutely. I'll let you.
I'm trying to parlay for like exclusive news, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do. So hey, it's all good.
You know,
but look,
it's hard sometimes with that too, because you know you don't even know that the song is up, you know, it's gonna come out, and then it just comes out. You're like, oh shit, wicked, I'm in. So I'll definitely let you know. For sure.
Definitely, man. And I appreciate that. And big ups, man, and shout out to you. Continue to do big things, man. Like I said, your resume speaks for itself, but I like the fact that you're still out there grinding, doing your thing, And definitely out there, people, check out the album. Go get it. Go support it. And go show that love. And hit that man up on the follow joint on all his social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Like, man, hey, continued success, man. And I'll be at you guys because, you know, even though I'm out here in the Bay Area in California, it's still Team Canada out here, man. I love how you guys get down.
Well, that's what's up.
Straight up.
We'll be out west probably the next month. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's what's up. Hey man, looking forward to connecting, man, and stay on your grind, man. Very proud of you, man.
So
Keep doing your thing.
Thank you,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Talented guy right here, August Rigo, live on Branded After Dark. More music.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.